Hello there! Gaming here. Today we're gonna do the weapon tier list. And for everybody who doesn't know what a weapon tier list, it's basically my personal thoughts on the best weapons. And yes, I will be counting the flares as a weapon as they are in the weapon. They do take up the weapon slots and they are, well, in the weapon section. So let's begin. We're starting off with the normal bombs. I'd say they are, well, C tier. I don't think they are worth one damage, one weapon point, but they are decent. They're not horrible, and oops, they're decent. They're not horrible, but they're not exactly great. Medium bombs. Now I would put them at A. They're not OP. But I would rather use them than small bombs, as they do more damage and, oh yeah, they're just a bit more balanced. Then we have the Gatling gun, the Railgun. Of course, S. I mean, it's hit scan. You can't compete with hit scan. You just have to hold it over the enemy and you will hit it. It's literally hit scan. There's no competing with hit scan. Hit scan, it has basically the same explosion radius and damage as the large bomb. So yeah, Gatling gun, also S. It doesn't really have any major downsides, and it mows down enemy vehicles just like that. Then we have rocket pods. B tier, honestly. I mean, they do have their own uses, but I mean, you're not gonna see me using them. Rocket launchers, A, as I did actually use them more than the rocket pods, and the rocket launchers do have some uses that they are, well, really good at. Semi-gun. I'd put it at also A. The semi-gun is, yeah, well, yes, while it isn't automatic, at least the last time I checked it wasn't automatic, it deals a lot of damage, and if spammed, it could basically kill anybody or anything you want because of the damage and because it stacks. Then we have flares. We're just gonna put them here. They're not real weapons, they take up the weapon slot and you don't exactly need to use them. You can just go faster than the missile, outmaneuver it. Second off, we have the minigun. Well, also A tier. I mean, basically the same as the semi-gun. If spammed is really good, also it's fairly decent on its own. We now have the large bomb. Honestly, B tier. It's really good, it's really strong, but it's too heavy. Like, I had to make a completely new bomber. I had to actually not but modify. First I made an original bomber, then I had to modify it so it would carry one of these. Because they're really heavy. They're really strong, but it just kinda cancels out, so there's not really much use. Then we have the missile. Of course, it's D tier because it can't do anything without the heat seeker. I'm kidding, of course. Though it does depend on the heat seeker, I put it at A tier, as it's fairly strong, and one hit from a missile should disable a flying vehicle, unless it uses hover thrusters, but spawn really fast, so you can just spam missiles at them. Then ship cannon. I don't have exactly the right to talk about the ship cannon as I don't really use it that much. But B tier, honestly. Pretty good reload, good damage, but I mean, just using the ship cannon, you're not gonna win any fight. Maybe you're gonna like kill him 2 times, but it just takes too long to reload. Then we have a tank cannon. S tier. Good range, good damage, good reload. pretty decent all in all. Then we have Torpedoes, A tier. Actually, B tier, yes. They have a good explosion radius, explosion damage, but they also have a decent reload time. So, I mean, yeah, it kind of does depend on it. And now we have Autocannon, which, of course, S tier. As the Autocannon by itself is fairly dangerous. Now, if you put them two together, it's even more dangerous. Have 6 of them, which you can't. It's probably the most dangerous thing in the server. But yeah, don't forget, guys. These are just my thoughts, and yeah. I mean, you don't have to agree with this list, as I mean, these are just my thoughts. You can prove your point in the comments if you want, or try to disprove my my listing in the comments. But again, it doesn't really matter. These are literally just my personal thoughts. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Spring is here, a suffering is here. Life is skittles and life is beer. I think the loveliest time of the year is the spring. I do, don't you? Of course you do. But there's one thing that makes spring complete for me, and makes every Sunday a treat for me. All the world seems in tune on a spring afternoon, when we're poisoning pigeons in the park. Every Sunday you'll see my sweetheart and me as we poison the pigeons in the park.